Welcome. It's the Matic. It's the illest blurred in the land. Welcome back, Legends community. Returning Legends, thank you so much for commenting, liking, and also returning. New Legends, welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for subscribing, liking, and commenting. Today's new video is something that, honestly, when I think about it now, this was interesting. I came across something online, and I kind of had to wonder. I was like, you know what? Maybe not. You know, when I think about it now, one of the biggest acts as an artist, Kendrick Lamar. XXL made a statement about the artist being the next Michael Jackson. Whew. That's interesting. That's very interesting. I was like, wow, they really said Michael Jackson. Surprising to me. Now, today's video is pretty much comparing both artists and some of their achievements, and either I'm going to touch on something that they both have in common as well, some other things too. Performance, rivalries. Let's get right into it. So the first thing is performance. Pretty much Michael Jackson had the biggest Super Bowl performance years ago, and now Kendrick has the biggest Super Bowl performance ever for this year. So when it comes to that, I can see it. They both have an impact when it comes to being artists or musicians, whichever one you want to call them. That is a common thing that they have in common, all right? No denying it. Now, the next thing, number two, that they have in common is pretty much they have rivalries. Remember with Michael Jackson, it was Prince. There was a rivalry that they had with one another over something that happened years ago. They were once friends, right? Rivalry. Same thing with Kendrick Lamar. When Kendrick wasn't as big of an artist, Drake put him on tour and stuff like that. And pretty much, Kendrick turned on Drake, pretty much, and ended up becoming rivals. And that was due to the Control verse that came out on an unreleased Big Sean soundtrack for one of his albums. And I was like, okay, there's another common things that they have in common when it comes down to it. Now, the next thing that is the most interesting is the type of music they put out. Michael Jackson has put out music that has had themes throughout his music. And that's absolutely true. You look at some of the Michael Jackson discography, you can see that his albums incorporated themes. Now, Kendrick does too. And that's because Kendrick is influenced by Mike. He's mentioned it in an interview that Mike is one of his influences. Not his biggest influence, right? But he is one of his influences. So when you look at Kendrick's catalog, you can see that, right? That's interesting. Now, let's get to the next thing that is interesting about these two. The next thing that they've done that's interesting. Michael Jackson, when it comes to sales, has a Diamond album. Actually, it's not called either. Well, it's Diamond, but it did pretty much crazy numbers. Thriller is 40 times platinum. Kendrick doesn't have a Diamond album yet. I know a lot of people are like, what? But he does have Diamond singles. Isn't that interesting? Very interesting. You know, yes, Kendrick does have a lot of #1 albums. You know what I'm saying? He has 5 #1 albums. So that's an achievement of his own. But overall, when I think about this, I think XXL is wrong. Let me just explain something to you guys. And this is because I am a fan of Kendrick Lamar. I know a lot of different things. Kendrick stated his main influences. One, you could pretty much tell is one of his influences right off the bat. Tupac is one of his influences. You could tell with the last album, GNX, you can hear the Tupac. It felt like Machiavelli, like a more up-to-date Machiavelli, what is going on in current times when it comes to the climate of music and the things that he's going through as an artist. And I gotta say, his other influence is there. Michael Jackson's rival Prince. I'm just saying, like, I'm like, Double XL? Y'all sure y'all want to call him the next Michael Jackson? And the thing is, Mike is Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson did what he did with this music. You know what I'm saying? Impactful. Kendrick does have an impact too, but who touching Mike? Getting 40 times platinum album. I don't think, don't get me wrong, Kendrick is a dope artist. I've been saying this, but to reach that type of achievement is insane. I am just saying, yo, like, whew, you know, Mike still got an impact, even though he's, no longer in the physical, right? Double XL, were y'all fishing for this? Were y'all like, yo, like, we see the comparisons, we're just gonna call him the next Michael Jackson? Interesting, but it's a blur. Liberal guys, you tell me in the comments, do you agree or disagree? Do you agree that Kendrick Lamar is the next Michael Jackson of music? And my next question for you guys is, do you see the similarities between both of these artists? It is the hardest working blur on YouTube, guys. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, subscribing, also sharing it in the algorithm so I can get it out there. And also hit that bell to stay notified, guys. It is the hardest working blur on YouTube, guys. And I'm out.